I just want to say, first of all, thank you for being here with me today. I know that we are very close to Christmas and we're very close to the end of the year. We might be in the middle of Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Thank you for spending some time here with me today. It means so much to me. And I also know that you're here because your inner self brought you here, because there's something that I said that resonated with that deepest part of you. And you said, oh, something resonates. And as one of my beautiful friends that's here today said to me after my last email, it was inspiring and triggering all at once. And I said, oh my gosh, that's like the best compliment, to be inspiring and triggering all at once. I could not ask for more. And so I say that because I want you to know that you guys are so incredible, because when I speak truth, when I channel through the ultimate truth, most people only feel triggered and their persona tells them anything and everything to get them to run in the other direction. But that's not you guys. You guys are so open. You have done so much work on yourselves so that you can trust and recognize another soul who's speaking. That's incredible. And none of us give ourselves enough credit for that. So I really, really want to start with that. You guys are incredible. And as we move into the new year, how can you remind yourself of that? How can you remind yourself that even though there are still things that you would like to be different, that you are in many ways trusting and walking your path? And that makes you such a bright light, even if it doesn't always feel that way. And I'll tell you guys, the energy has been very, very heavy for those of us that are walking our path or trying our hardest to walk our path. It's been heavy because there's been so many releases and upgrades in a very compressed amount of time. Whereas a few years ago, we would have been given a year to move through one thing, and it would have been very slow and gentle. And now it's like, you have a week. Move through this in a week. Upgrade yourself completely in a week. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. And we're over here saying, a week? And then you're going to do it again to me, aren't you? God sourced the universe. After a week, you're going to upgrade me again. And we are all becoming more accustomed to these new energies. But the thing is, because we're in this constant upgrade cycle right now, which includes big releases, sometimes we don't recognize how quickly we're growing and how incredible we are to not be running in the other direction, to not be saying, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I am moving back into whatever I was doing before I woke up, and I'm just going to hang out there. And you know what? I have received emails where people have said to me, Erin, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to be different anymore. I don't want to move up to a higher dimension. I don't want to experience any of it anymore. I just want my old life back. I want to forget. And you know what? I've had moments where I've said the same thing, where, you know what? I'd just like to forget all of this. But luckily, I have led myself through those moments. So I want you to know, if you've had those moments, you're not alone. And the fact that you're here today, after all of the energetic upgrades and releases we have been through recently, I just want to start by honoring you in a big, 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 big way. You are incredible, and I celebrate you, as I am learning to celebrate myself as well. Okay. So I was originally told to call this, and when I say told, I just channel, right? All day long, I'm channeling, and I'm being told all the time sort of what to do. Okay. So I was originally told to call this masterclass Soul, Money, and Magic. And then a few days later, I was told, no, now you're going to switch it to Opt Out of the Matrix. Now, this masterclass is about freedom and abundance in all of its forms. Okay. It's about not feeling beholden to someone else for your survival. Okay. So, this is what you actually came here to bring forward. What all of our souls came to earth during this time is a next level of freedom, not only for ourselves, but for everyone on earth. Now, you might be saying, yeah, but I don't see how that's possible. Sometimes I say that too, but I don't see how it's possible. What? And the good news about that is it's not our responsibility to see how it's possible. It's never our responsibility to know how the universe will turn its wheels to make these things happen. It's only our responsibility to listen to our inner self and our soul and trust that. And that's the work. That's the work, guys. That's what today is about. Literally is about how can we go deeper into bringing our soul into our physical body, soul embodiment. How can we go deeper into that? And how can we trust more as we do that? Because the truth is, each of our souls came here. Now, for those of you who aren't clear on the difference between soul versus God, just very, very briefly, we are all God at the very, very top, and God is inside of us and speaks to all of us through various means. For some it's a voice, for some it's a feeling in their body, for some it's visions, for some it's just a knowing that they feel that doesn't make any sense at all, but they just feel it. Okay? And then God has created an infinite number of souls which have purposes, which have a mission. God has no needs. Our soul has a purpose, and our souls all came here to change the world. Okay? So when we are told as children, well, you're not really going to change the world. You can be an astronaut if that's what you really want, but you can't really change the world. That's just programming. That's not true. Okay? When we change our inner world, the outer world must change to reflect that back to us. This is true. So you are so much more powerful than you understand in the grand scheme of changing the world, because all you have to do, and I kind of giggle when I say all you have to do, this is the work. All you have to do is be willing to listen to that inner guidance and change your own inner world. And that's it. That's it. That's the work. Easy peasy, right? And I giggle because I know that everything else that you could do with your life is easier than that. I know it. And I know it, and I know you've tried it, because I've tried everything else too. And I know that none of it brings that soul satisfaction. And so that's why you're here, is because that is where your soul is leading you to that deep, deep level. And I think that's beautiful, because I'm on the same path with you guys. So, opting out of the matrix is opting out of all of the shoulds, all of the have tos, all of the everybody else is doing this, so I probably need to too. And it's embracing whatever crazy thing your soul is leading you to. That's opting out of the matrix. It's literally, now the tricky thing is, with the matrix has programmed us that everything should make sense and that we shouldn't take action unless it makes sense. Okay? And if you think back to school, that was definitely what they were up to, teaching you it all needs to make sense, otherwise you're not going to get a good grade, right? And so what I would like to propose to you today is that nothing needs to make sense. And the less you need things to make sense, the quicker you heal and the quicker you fully embody your soul mission. And the quicker your inner guidance comes through clearly when we're receiving some form of guidance, whether it's a voice, whether it's a feeling in our body, or just a knowing deposited in our head, or a vision. And we say, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to do anything about that. I'll just think about it for a few years. And yes, I've been there. So no judgment. I've been there. But when we say this, the guidance slows. It says, oh, okay, well, I love this person infinitely. They're not quite ready. I'll just slow the tap a little bit so as not to overwhelm them and give them a chance to catch up. But when we say, okay, crazy idea, crazy voice, crazy image, crazy feeling, crazy knowing, okay, let's do it. Then all of a sudden the guidance and the wheels of the universe say, oh, okay, this one's ready. Okay, well, we'll speed up a little bit. We'll start feeding you more information, more guidance. And that's literally, incredibly simplistically, what is going on. And I have had points, even this last year, guys, when I said, slow down the trickle that guidance. I cannot stand this level, and not even guidance, also healing. It's too much. I need you to slow down. And so there's no judgment if you've needed to slow down at certain points. That's okay. That's normal. But I also know that you guys are all continuing to come back, and that makes you the warriors. That makes you the soul warriors who came here to embody light, to embody the light of your soul, and literally help this planet transition to a higher dimensional space, which is what we are moving through right now. So, the Matrix. What does it look like? The Matrix is literally false programming that has been placed within the earth and within humanity to keep us very much in the dark about our own power so that it can siphon our light. Okay? So if we are feeling lack, if we are worried about lack all of the time, we are very much hooked into the matrix still, okay? If we feel not good enough, if we feel bored, unfulfilled, all of these things are signs that we are still in the matrix, okay? If we feel lonely, miserable, unhappy, these are all signs we're still in the matrix. If we feel incredibly abundant and feel like anything is possible, if we feel overwhelming joy and gratitude lit up from within, if we're surrounded by our soul tribe, we're fully out of the matrix. Now, I am not fully out of the matrix, okay? I'm not fully out of the matrix. I don't expect you guys to be fully out of the matrix yet. We are in a transition period. We're in the land in between. Now, most people we know are still fully in the matrix. You guys aren't, or you wouldn't be here. I have zero doubt about that. You're in the in-between with me, okay? Which means you have some of the feelings of being really within the matrix, but you also have a vision or an idea or a hope or a spark of what it's going to be like to not be there. You have the belief that it's possible to feel these higher things, to experience these higher things. Now, that's no small thing in a world right now where most people are completely pummeled by fear all day long. The fact that you have retained, and even I'm seeing for most of you, blossomed so much, that's no small thing. It's an incredibly big deal, and it's the work that we all came here to do. So, you guys are each here to do something vitally important within you as we continue this transition. Now, what's interesting is my mom is on my email list, so she gets the weekly guidance. And for about the last month, every week she's been saying, you know, Erin, I don't think you should tell people they're here to do something important. Don't you think you could tone that down a little bit? She said, I don't think so. She said, I don't think I'm here to do anything important. And I said, oh, okay. Well, okay. Now, I believe every single human is here to do something important, but I also believe not everyone will accomplish that, will do that in this lifetime. But I do believe that everyone who has been led to me will. And I believe it's going to happen faster than you realize, faster than you can imagine. And with the acceleration of the energies that I can see so clearly, things are possible right now that weren't possible a year ago. Certainly not 3 or 5 years ago. And so when I'm talking to my mom, you guys have to realize that a couple of years ago, I never would have shared truth with her. My throat was too closed. I didn't feel comfortable. I mean, I was terrified to tell her I was publishing my book. I didn't want her to know anything about it. And here I had this conversation with her, and I said, well, I do believe everyone is here and has a very important purpose. And I also think it's okay, whatever happens there, whether you feel into that in this lifetime or if it's another lifetime. Your soul will bring it forward when you're ready in divine timing. But I said, here, Mom, is why I'm not going to water down my message. It's because you're the only one on my email list that wasn't called there by his or her soul. You're here because you're my mom and you love me. But everyone else was brought here by their soul. And if I water down my message for you to make you feel more comfortable, less triggered, then I'm doing a great disservice to everyone who is led to me. I am now dulling or dimming the light of my soul for the people who are triggered instead of raising up the people who are ready, showing them what's possible and leading them and showing them, you know what, you can do this too. There will come a day when you can have a conversation with the family member or the friend very, very calmly and just say truth because you've embodied it so deeply that there's nothing else to say. And it doesn't cause a thump, thump, thump in your body of, can I do this? Am I going to get in trouble? Are they going to be upset? Instead, it's just, this is simply who I am. I love you. I hope you accept that. If you don't accept that, I still love you and I'll be here if you're ever ready to accept that. And the conversations with my mom are very interesting because they usually go like, she asks me a question expecting me to just change everything I've been doing, how weird I've been acting, right? And I calmly respond as to why I'm going to continue on my incredibly weird path. And her eyes glaze over and she doesn't hear me anymore. And I say, okay, I'll just stop talking and she won't even notice. And I know so many of you have relationships like that. And I applaud you for the work that you've been doing within them, because that's no small thing either. And I know every time I speak my truth to my mom, even when her eyes glaze over, that's assisting her on her soul path, just as it's assisting me in stepping more into my confidence. And so as we move into the holidays, think about that is how we break out of the matrix. We simply have these conversations with our family members that a few years ago we couldn't have done. And we don't have to bring it up. It can just be a situation where in the past, maybe when they asked you something, you would have told a little white lie so you wouldn't have to say what you're really up to, right? Or what you really think about this. And this time instead, maybe practice a little calm embodiment of, even if it's a little squeak of Maybe they'll start off terrified. I've certainly started my embodiment journey absolutely terrified, throwing up in the toilet, so afraid to speak truth to anyone, but choosing it anyway. And however that journey looks for you is absolutely divine. So we're already 24 minutes in. Um, so I will come over to the chat at the end of the masterclass. I'm also going to talk for a few minutes about my new book and 2 ways that you can work with me in the new year. But as far as moving out of the matrix, which looks like more freedom, more abundance, less feeling like you have to do certain things, act certain ways because other people expect it of you. As far as that goes, some of you all want more freedom. I know that. I know it. I know you feel it deeply. You're supposed to be more free because you are supposed to be more free. And we are all the ones that came here to go first in ushering that through. Okay. So you're not quite sure how. I get that because I'm not quite sure how either. What's interesting about that is once I finally let go of having to know how, of having to make it make sense, I started being shown the how, but I wasn't shown it as this beautiful map from A to Z, right? Here, you're going to start here today. This is where you're going to be in 1 year, and look at its Z. And here's all the steps you're going to take in between. Now you can confidently get started because I've shown you and laid it out exactly. That's what we want, and so many of us are waiting for that. Or so many of us didn't have it, and so we took a few little steps, and then we felt like we failed. And so we said, oops, this was a misstep. Back up the bus. Never, I'm going to go back to A and wait for that map. Okay. So it doesn't look like a map. It looks like a vision of Z, a vision of where your soul's taking you. And this vision is going to be so big, and it might not be a vision, it might be a thought, it might be a feeling. It might be when you visit a certain place, you have this feeling, I'm supposed to live here. Or if you see something on TV, you just have this feeling, it really connects in with you. Okay. For me, it looks like living on the ocean. That's my vision. But and that's when I think of it, it feels so peaceful. It feels like, yes, that feels right. It feels like home. I just see water, especially I see so much water moving into the next year. I'm a water girl. In the winter, I take 2 baths a day. So my vision, I have smaller visions that include my business. I have smaller visions that include my family and my close friends. But as far as like my soul's vision, it's me relaxing with the water of the ocean lapping, like waving in and out on my feet, and just feeling totally at peace, totally at home. And so that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. But here's the thing. I often tell myself, that could never happen. That could never happen. So instead, it would be much more practical in today's day and age to have a small homestead where I could grow my own food and do all of these other types of things. And that's a beautiful vision. But I have to remind myself that's my second best vision. It's not my soul and my heart's desire. It's my second best vision. And we so often do this. We have the idea, the real one, the big one, the one that's like, this is it. But it feels too big and it scares us. And so we look around at what's practical, at what makes sense, and we say, I'll just pick this vision. This one's pretty great. Look at how happy all the people that have this vision are. This is great. I'll be so happy. It'll be fine. This is what I want. And I can see a path. I can see a path to this happening. Yeah. Okay. So You then throw your dreams into this second best vision. And what happens is your soul that was all amped up for that first one, your soul just, your soul's like, I'm not moving for that. That's not it. I am going to fall asleep here, and I'm going to wait for you to remember the real vision. So I want to suggest something absolutely radical, completely crazy, doesn't make any sense at all, and it's following your heart's desire versus your watered down dreams. Okay? Now, we all have an idea what our heart's desire is, and we all probably have a few other things rattling around in there that we've created over the years because the heart's desire is too scary and too far away. And so I want you just to, today, after we're done, take a few minutes and write down the different dreams that you've had, the big ones, and ask yourself which one's the most impossible, which one is the one that could never, ever, ever happen in this lifetime. And circle it, put a heart on it and a star. If you have any stickers, put some stickers on it. Put it on the bathroom mirror. And you don't have to do anything with it yet, but just start imagining it. And what will happen is you will slowly start recoding to hold that dream. And one day you're going to be ready to follow it, and you'll be given breadcrumbs. Not that A to Z map, but you're going to be given one step at a time. One step at a time. Now, I have to, I don't have my books behind me anymore. Okay, well, I have to recommend this book. I have recommended it to so many people, and they have come back and said, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So if you haven't read Atomic Habits, I highly recommend reading Atomic Habits. Let me tell you guys that this helps you see how we are lied to by our personas and our egos. And we're told that if we don't do it immediately and quickly and all at once, we may as well quit. And this book flips that all on its head and shows you the truth of the matter is people succeed when they take very, very, very small, consistent action. Very small, consistent action. Now, that might be a daily walk outside. That's a small, consistent action that will start recoding you. I cannot tell you how many people that I've worked with, when they start spending a few minutes outside every day, how they start recoding, but it actually is a new habit they had to create. Over and over and over again, this happens. And the thing is, whenever we're creating a new habit, there's an initial period of excitement, and then there's a period where all the obstacles come because we're upgrading and up-leveling ourselves. And all of those obstacles are the universe saying, are you sure? Are you ready? And we get to choose, do we lead ourselves through those obstacles, or do we say, oh, no way, that's too big, that's too much, I was wrong, I'm not doing that anymore. And that's why I really like Atomic Habits. It helps show you that it can be slow and steady. And that's how we win the race, slow and steady, slow and steady. And we learn that as children in The Tortoise and the Hare. But as adults, we often forget that. And that has been such a life changer for me to embrace that slow, steady, slow, steady, slow, and steady. So, God source the universe doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense. We want it to make sense. Like the Matrix tries to make everything make sense for us. But the truth about the universe, universal mind, the quantum field, is it's rearranging second by second based on all of the thoughts. It's only real in this now moment. And this now moment is different than 5 now moments ago, 5 seconds ago, because everyone's thoughts have moved, have shifted in that 5 seconds. And so, if we want a step-by-step map from 5 seconds ago. It's already out of date. We can only get one step at a time. That's it. And so if we can start shifting our thinking to one step at a time, we can start trusting our guidance more and more and more and more. And if we can start seeing that maps that have it all laid out in advance, those are always false matrix, because that's not how the universe and the quantum field works. It cannot work that way. It is all the thoughts that have ever been thought, and it's shifting second to second based on all the thoughts that are being thought in any 1 second. So it can give you perfect guidance to lead you to Z, but you gotta trust all these breadcrumbs that don't make any sense at all. That's the work. Now, everything that's happening right now in the world, all the craziness, all of the absolute insanity, it's all happening to allow the parts of the old earth that are broken, that are very, very dense and heavy, to drop away, and to make space for the new world, the higher dimensional world, to come in. The crumbling has to happen. That's the thing about, we all want change. We want positive transformation, but we do not want that crumbling bit. In general, we'd like to avoid that. Problem is, if you look at yourself as one cohesive unit, an energy body, a physical body, and a mind, you have so much space right now in those 3 containers. Okay? And they're full of a lot of good things, but there's also things in there that are just no longer aligned with who you've become. But you're still carrying them around, because if you don't carry them around, you would have to say goodbye to them, and that is awkward and uncomfortable. And nobody wants to do that. So you carry them around. The crumbling is always happening for us to help us release the things that we're too afraid to release. We tell ourselves that crumbling is bad, that falling apart is bad, but falling apart is how we crack open to receive more light, more of our soul. It's how we become more embodied. And the people that crack open the most often are the ones that are most fully on their path. This is the exact opposite of what Matrix teachings would have us believe, that the people that crack open, they're crazy. They're crazy. Now, some of you guys might be familiar with the term the Great Reset, which is what certain denser entities on our planet are trying to move humanity and the earth into. And what's interesting is most humans have the idea that that's about our financial system, but the Great Reset is not actually about our financial system, and there's nothing great about it. The Great Reset, their actual intention is to reset humanity so that the veil is fully over our eyes again, so that we no longer see truth, so that we go back to being fully in the matrix and fully brainwashed. It's too late for this to work. It can't work. There's too many people like you and I who have continued in these cracking opens to let in more light and continue to trust, continue to follow their path. And so just that, just letting yourself crack open when the universe tells you it's time and continuing to trust, just that is enough. Just that is the work that you came here to do. Just that is everything. And there's some of you, though, that feel more, that know more, like me, that have been called to lead others. And that's amazing as well. It's all about trusting where you're led. So, can you see everything that's happening to you as leveling up? Okay. Even the bad stuff, difficult stuff, the scary stuff, the stuff where you're like, I'm afraid I'm going to die right now. Can you see this as leveling up? If so, you level up. And by level up, I mean you move up dimensionally. If you stay scared throughout it, you say, I don't know, I'm scared. I just can't handle this. I can't handle this. I just want it to stop. You will continue to be given those situations until one day during them, you let go and you say, I'm just going to trust this is happening for me, even though I don't understand it right now. Now, 3 years ago, this started happening to me. I had these cracking open situations. And for me, every time I felt like I was going to die, I thought I was going to die, I was so scared. And they have been accelerating over the last few months. And a few months ago, I started realizing, oh my gosh, I have to be okay with dying. My biggest fear is death. So I started working on that, and I started leading myself through these up-level episodes. And oh my goodness, the guidance that I've started to receive, everything's been changing for me. The amount of light I can embody has changed simply because I stopped fighting it and started to lead myself through it. Now, I want to talk about leading yourself. Because in the Matrix, we are taught to be led. We are taught very specifically in school to be led by the teacher and the administrators. We are taught to be led. But guys, we came here to lead ourselves. We came here to lead ourselves and to pave that way for the next group of souls that are ready to learn to lead themselves. Okay, so leading yourself looks like when you feel scared, when you're being cracked open, you have to understand that your body and your mind, they feel afraid, right? Something's wrong. I'm not in control right now. I'm scared. I'm scared. Leading yourself looks like talking to your body and your mind and saying, you're going to get through this. It's all okay. I've got you. You don't even have to know what it means in the beginning. If you think about it, when you are in a situation that scares you, you're looking for someone to come along and tell you what to do, right? Because then you don't have to be scared anymore. If you know what to expect, then you don't have to be scared. Now, this hit the ultimate head for me. For those of you who read my weekly guidance this week at the chiropractor. So I had an adjustment, and I've had adjustments before, so it wasn't anything new, but my body went into deep shock because he really released a trauma I didn't know I had from my childhood, a very, very deep trauma of abuse that, again, I was completely unaware of. And my body went into shock. I started having just extreme chills, and I was shaking, my teeth were chattering, and he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. And he just kind of sat there and watched me. Now, I'm a nurse, my husband's a nurse, my husband's there with me. And I wasn't thinking, right? I wasn't thinking. But afterwards, we were talking about it. And even when we left, he didn't really say anything at all. He didn't give me any follow-up like, oh, if this happens, do this, right? I received no leadership. And so for a few days afterwards, I still felt scared. I still felt like, is something wrong? Am I going to be okay? And that's when I really started receiving all of this guidance about leading myself. I was like, oh, this is an opportunity to lead myself. Okay. So I started doing that. I started talking to my body and telling it It's going to be fine. You're fine. Everything's okay. You're safe. And I started taking care of my body in this deep way I had never done before. Like really, really honoring it and really listening to it and really giving it what it needed, despite the fact that I had to just give my husband the house and the kids. And in the past, I would have felt guilt for that. This time I didn't. I led all of us by saying, I'm not doing anything. I'm giving myself what I need. This kind of leadership is radical. It's radical. It's crazy to say to the responsibilities, not right now, not right now, not right now. Right now, I'm going to trust what I need. Now, I want to give you another example of leadership. I had bought a beautiful crystal crown for a third eye crown a few years ago. And it was beautiful, it was beautiful. And about after 6 months, I was guided that, okay, I moved beyond that one. And I just went back to the seller a few weeks ago and bought another one. I was so excited. And she was going to make it custom for me. I got a great deal. It was Black Friday. I was like, this is awesome. I'm so excited. And she sent me a shamanic journey to do to set my intention for the crown. So I clicked play on the YouTube video. And there she is, and she's incredibly nervous, which is okay. I don't mind that. I've done all kinds of incredible things being incredibly nervous in my life. I don't mind that at all. And she starts talking, and she says something like, neither of us knows what's about to happen here. I'm going to make you this crown, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about the process, and I'm really scared right now. I'm so scared. And I don't know if it's going to be okay. And I clicked pause on the video. And I said, I see why I bought this crown, so that I could watch the first part of this video. I'm not going to receive the crown because I'm at a point where I deserve to receive from people who can lead themselves, from people who know what that means. Okay. I am all for being led by others who have gone before me, and I think it's so important. I think that we all came here to assist each other on our soul missions. But I think that we also have to trust when something's an absolute no and does not resonate with us and is who I was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I didn't know that I need to lead myself, and I also need to trust others who are able to lead themselves. Which means if you're giving a service to someone, then you need to lead them. Just like the chiropractor didn't lead me. Didn't say, this is what you can expect. It's fine to say, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a little bit nervous. This is what you can expect. There was no, this is what you can expect. Now that may have resonated with me 3 years ago, but I've grown so much that I know what I deserve now. Okay? I know what we all deserve. We deserve not only to lead ourselves, but to be led by people who know how to lead themselves. And wherever you're not doing that, guys, put up boundaries. Put up boundaries. Now, let me give you another example. Phil, my husband, is my best friend, and he's incredible. And I trust his input and his thoughts. I trust him implicitly. But he can't lead the way that I have learned to lead myself. So what this looks like is me saying, hey, I had this idea, Phil, for the business. What do you think about it? And he says, oh, I have no idea. I don't know. So he just knows I should trust my guidance, right? So he doesn't ever want to say, why do I keep asking someone that is not leading me? I don't anymore. But why did I feel that need to ask someone for their approval or permission to do something when they can't assist me in leading myself? Because it's not about somebody else leading you. It's about somebody else assisting you in leading yourself. That's what it's about. And that's what some of you are here to lead others. And that's what you will do. You'll be honest when you say, oh, I don't know everything, but I do know this is what we're doing together. And I don't know exactly how that's going to unfold, but I do know that I trust the process. And honestly, I wouldn't want to work with somebody that said they knew everything that's going to happen either. And I think there's so much here about vibration, about recognizing where we're a vibrational match, or where we're a vibrational match at our next level. Is this a vibrational match for the next level of me who trusts more, who goes deeper, who embodies more? Or is this a vibrational match for me a year ago or 3 years ago? Right? And how can we look at things like that and see things like that? Now, when we're saying things like, I'm not going to be okay, I don't trust, I'm not sure what's happening here, I don't know what's going on, I don't know if we should do this or not, I just don't know. Our vibration's not very high. Okay? And we're all having those moments. We're all having those cracked open moments because we're being asked to raise our vibration so much. And the only way to do it is by cracking open and zooming down and then bouncing back up so much more. Okay? And it doesn't have to make any sense. It doesn't have to make any sense at all. We have to stop needing it to make sense. So in these cracked open moments, our vibration is very, very, very low. And we need to feel that to let those trapped emotions out, stuff that's stuck in there. But after we feel it, we have to know how to lead ourselves out of it. We have to choose to lead ourselves out of it. Let our body or our mind freak out for a few hours, or even a few days if that's what we need, before we remember, oh, that's right, I'm the leader of this ship. I'm going to tell my body and my mind, all is well, we're going to make it, and we're going to start steering back to trust that all is unfolding divinely for me. That's the highest vibration right there. It's not happiness and joy and abundance. The highest vibration is trust that all is unfolding divinely, even when things aren't the way that we want right now. That's the highest vibration. And so we don't need to be like feeling like to be incredibly high vibration. That's totally a myth. It's all about, do I trust it's all unfolding divinely in this moment? That's like the vibration is off the charts. That's divinity frequency. That's it. Okay. So the formula for success, as we're all continuing to be cracked open so that we can go higher and higher and higher and hold more and more and more and more light, is feel it. Feel the suck, feel the pain, feel the uncomfortableness. And then after you've felt it, lead yourself through it. Lead yourself back to trust. Remind yourself that all is going to be well, that you are going to make it. This is the formula. Now, again, I believe very strongly leading yourself is not all about doing it on your own. And if it was about doing it on your own, we would all be on Earth by ourselves. There would be 8 billion Earths, and we would all be the lone inhabitant. But that is not the physical world that we are in. We're here to impact others and allow others to impact us. So it is very much about knowing when do I need to go to someone else and when do I need to only lead myself. I lead others and I have others that lead me. I have an energy healer that assists me when I just want to lay down and not assist myself. I have an acupuncturist that I go to a few times a month and a chiropractor that I go to a few times a month that help me align my spine so that my channel is open, so that I can receive information and keep sharing it. I am not trying to do it all on my own, because I know that when I did it all on my own, it took me 8.5 years to do the first thing I was led to do. And I know it's so much quicker when you trust the people that you are led to, which is why I love doing these free masterclasses. And in this coming year, I'm going to be doing a lot more of them. I'm really, really excited about that, because as you guys have all been here listening, just being present, codes have been unlocking within you. Vibrations, higher dimensional frequencies have been coming in through the crown of your head. You have been receiving massive upgrades. And I love holding this space. It's like my soul's like, yes, this is it. This is what I came here to do. This is incredible. Like, after we get off this call today, I'm going to be like grinning like crazy and like running around the house all lit up. There is nothing like doing your soul work. There's nothing like it. It's the best feeling in the world. And I wish this for each of you. And I know that there's a path to getting there. And I know that path is rocky in the beginning. I know that. But I also know that it's worth it. And I know that it doesn't matter if everything has felt like a failure up until now, because that's how it was for me too. And I went first before some of you guys. Some of you guys will go first before some other people. And other people went first before me. And on it goes. But the cool thing is, the more of us that choose to bring our soul forward and just start living a soul embodied life, however that looks for us, the more and more and more the matrix just starts not being anymore. It cannot exist where we have embodied souls. It can't. It can't. So I want you all, besides looking at what's your real heart's desire, I also would like you to look at the people in your life. Okay? Do you have anyone that can help you lead yourself when you forget how? Is there anyone like that in your life? If there is, that's amazing. If there is, definitely send them some gratitude and really look at, can you do the same thing for them, right? How can you move into doing that for them as well? And if you are looking around yourself and saying, oh, there's nobody like that in my life, that's okay too. I want you to set an intention that you are calling your soul tribe in 2023, okay? And this, like, actually is how it works. Our intentions change things. Our intentions matter. Now, they change things in divine timing, but they do change things, okay? So we're going to talk about, first of all, my new book is out on the 26th of the month, Lightworkers 101. So this is going to teach you higher dimensional energy work. It'll teach you how to open up a quantum field and call in beings of the highest vibration, like spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, to essentially work with you to upgrade your energy field, your physical body, and your mind to hold more light. So I'm so excited to share that with all of you guys. And it took me 3 years to make my second book, but I'm going to consider that a big improvement on 8 years for the first one. So it's, we have to look at, guys, I wanted to share that with you. Oh yeah, it's for pre-order on the Kindle edition. I do not have hopefully Monday or Tuesday, the paperback will be available for pre-order. And I do probably recommend the paperback, guys, just because in many, the first half is like a book and the second half is like a textbook, right? With like actual directions of how to do it. So it's probably be a little bit easier if you're going to do it as a paperback, but both will be available. So I'm really, really excited to share that with you guys, because for some of you, that's the exact right next step, is learning how to expand your energy field to hold more light, which just naturally raises your vibration and moves you out of the matrix quicker. Okay. Then the next thing that I have going on is the Best Year Ever, which is going to be a live class in January. And I don't have any details about it, except I'm going to channel it through live in January. And it's going to be awesome and assist you in having the best year ever. And with my classes, I channel them like the day of. I'll channel through information probably like a week before it starts. And so you'll have information there. However, right now, the pre-sale price before I have any information is $222. I don't know what the price will go to once I have all the information downloaded. So I will send out the link to that in an email when I send out the masterclass replay on Monday. So look for that. And then the last thing that I want to talk about, I'm really, really excited about, and I'm kind of blown away by the incredible value here in a way that I'm like, should I be doing this? Like, this is so incredible. But the guidance is very, 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 very clear that this is what I'm doing. And just to be clear for all of these things, you take what resonates with you and you leave what doesn't, right? So if you're saying yes, yes, yes to the book, but the other ones feel kind of far off, that's beautiful. If you're saying yes, yes, yes to the best life ever, that's beautiful. If you're saying yes, yes, yes to this thing, which we're going to talk about as a mastermind, that's beautiful. But if you're like, I'm not sure about that, trust that, okay? I do all of everything I run on a soul level match. You will know that's for you because your soul's like, yep, yep. And you're like, I'm terrified. I'm so afraid. I have done so many investments over the last few years, like shaking, like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm so afraid. I don't know if this is going to work out. This is so much money. I'm so scared. I'm not sure if I should do this. Okay. But then like the guidance or the knowing is like, yeah, you're doing this. This is it. This is your next step. So you're going to do it. And I'm like, okay. All right. And then it ended up being like exactly what I was like. Sometimes it ended up being what I hoped it would be. More often than not, it wasn't, because I was being led how to be a better leader myself by being shown where this wasn't available in sort of the online course industry, where people are very fake and very not being led by their soul. They want the cookie cutter, easy way to get rich. And so they're thinking more about like money than they're thinking about the people that are signing up for their programs. And my soul led me to a lot of situations like that. And I blamed myself sometimes. So I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? But then I had to remember, oh, I was led there. Okay, why was I led there then? How was this my up level? How was spending all this money and finding out this wasn't right for me at all? How was this an up level? Oh, because it's going to make me that much better and that much more determined to be completely authentic in everything that I do for others. And it also has made me just so adamant about not being all about the money, but being about how can I serve the people whose souls bring them to me. How can I serve them? How can I be the absolute best space for showing you how to light your soul on fire and give yourself that feeling of just being like, gosh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I am doing this, and it feels really, 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 really good. I feel good. I woke up today and I feel like I can't believe this is my life. I cannot believe this is my life. And then, of course, I also am here to lead you through the days when you're like, I can't believe this is my life. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. I think everything's been a huge mistake. And I'm just going to go sit in the corner today. So, because I get it. It's all part of it. So, okay. So this mastermind is, after running numerous masterminds, this is the best experience that from everything that I've learned, okay? And what I've learned is, guys, is your thoughts, yours, the ones in your head are your best teacher and your best guidance, even the bad ones, even the ones that are like full of self-doubt, because those are perfectly coded with the information to tell you what your next step is, to tell you what needs to crumble so that you can up level. It's your thoughts. Now, how our journey usually goes is that we start with books, okay? Because our throats are usually pretty closed in the beginning of our journey, right? So we don't actually like want to interact with anybody. We want the books, right? Because the books will give us the information. And what we do is we try to find a book that's sort of a match for whatever is going on with us right now, right? I'm thinking about this, or I feel this, it doesn't feel very good. So let me find the book that's going to help me feel better, right? And then as we progress on our journey, a lot of us move into taking courses, okay? Now the courses, especially my courses, are incredible. However, they're based on my thoughts that I'm channeling through for the collective that's in the course for their highest good as a collective, which will give you big up levels. But once you've done that, the next step forward is to start having your actual thoughts become your up level. So this is moving out of someone else leading you completely through a book or a course and moving into you trusting what's going on within you to start leading you. This is like, it's such a different space. I've had people that have done every single one of my courses and have up-leveled so much through that. But then when they've done a private or a mastermind with me, it's just been like so much more, because that's how this works. It's your thoughts that have those codes. And the problem is when we are the ones examining our own thoughts, it might take that 8 years to heal one thing versus when someone else that like can channel through guidance like me is examining those thoughts, we can move through it in a week, right? So it's a huge, well, really in an hour, it's a huge difference. And the reason that I'm creating this mastermind is I was doing this with private clients all of the last year. And what we did together was incredible. I know some of you guys are here today. Thank you so much for being here. It was such an honor and joy to see the up levels these people went through. And I really am being called this year to move that into a space that is a mastermind where it's more affordable, where you can do the entire year with me for the same price that you did a month or 3 months with me. And that's why I said when I started talking about this, it scares me a little bit because I'm giving so much here of my time and my energy and my love. And I am trusting that this is what's for my highest good as well as your highest good. Even though I'm like, financially, I don't see how this makes sense. I'm doing this because I trust, because I was told the price is $444 a month. When I'm thinking, well, if I was realistically, as Erin, to choose a price, I'd choose $2,000 a month for what you're receiving. That seems like a fair price. But I'm not doing anything in my business based on what Erin would do. That's why sometimes I'm going all over the place. I'm like this, and then this, and then this, and then this. It's because like my guidance changes from moment to moment. And so sometimes I look like a rubber band that's like popping and cracking and all of it. This is because I'm trusting at this deep level. And sometimes it's hard to do that. And so I am here to lead those of you who feel a soul yes through that and show you that it's going to take you amazing, amazing places. So if you want to write and publish a book, we can do that in a year. If you want to start a business and take it from 0 to 10K months, we can do that in a year. Okay? If you want to bring your physical body into alignment, we can do that in a year. If you want to find your soulmate, we can do that in a year. If we are dealing with the thoughts and the energy within you, and not just the blanket program that's the highest good for everyone, if we are dealing specifically with you, okay? It's all about alignment. And alignment is all about healing, about inner self-led healing. Inner self-led healing, guys. Not somebody else's template, not somebody else's step-by-step method. What your inner self is bringing forward. And I am sort of a master at helping you discern what your inner self is bringing forward. What's really, really interesting with my private clients is they bring me these situations that they think they're a mess. And they're like, I don't even know why I'm telling you this, Erin. This doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, this has zero relevance to our call today. We shouldn't even talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Over and over and over again, all of these beautiful souls say this to me, and I say, just tell me. They tell it to me, and it's like, oh, this is all so connected. It's so beautiful, and you are absolutely incredible because you trusted yourself and you brought this forward even though you thought it was crazy. And it's like the magic is real. It's real when you trust yourself to speak your truth, okay? So we will work on whatever you can't stop thinking about, because that's always your next healing step. You can't stop thinking about it because your inner self is bringing it forward so that you can heal it and not have to think about it anymore. So it's not even, it's such a simple aligned process. Like, you would not believe how simple and aligned this is. Now, most people will take years to heal one thing if they're lucky, but we can do it again very, very, very quickly. All right, so this mastermind, and if you are interested in joining, just send me an email and I will send you more information. And I'll also send out a link then on Monday. So what I want to tell you about this is that masterminds can be intimidating to people because there's going to be other people within it. And this is what I want you to know about it. And I've been in masterminds too, and I know it feels so scary in the beginning. But what I want you to know is that everybody feels that way the first few weeks. And as you learn to open your throat and speak your truth, and you see everybody else doing the same thing, you start becoming so inspired by these people, and you start loving them, and they start loving you. And you start forming these deep soul level bonds that are absolutely incredible. And it becomes the most amazing space. And that's why I'm so excited to do this for a year, because I know the people that choose this are going to find their soul tribe and these soul level relationships that are going to last the rest of their life. I know this deeply, and I'm like almost going to cry because it's just like I can see the beauty of this container. I can feel it, and it's just such a place of truth and expansion. So if you're feeling that this sounds really good, but that would be way too scary, I encourage you that the things that feel scary are the ones that are going to expand you the most. They're going to make you be this next level version of yourself. So the mastermind is 12 months. There's 2 mastermind calls per month, but I'm going to run at least 4 with different times and dates, so you can pick the 2 that are most aligned with you. On the calls, I will have a quantum field open the entire call. Each person will have 10 or 15 minutes with me where you bring forward whatever's going on with you. And we do then an energy healing on it. And I also channel through whatever wants to come through to assist you in moving this out. Okay. So you will also, so it's just their deep healing calls, deep, deep, deep healing. There's also going to be 3 one-on-one calls with me throughout the program. One towards the beginning, where we will make a plan based on what your soul wants to bring forward for what you want to work on during 2023. Okay? Towards the middle, we'll have another one-on-one call where we will do any deep healing that wants to come through, also make any adjustments that are necessary to the plan, and another call towards the end to help make new plans for the next year. Okay. Then you'll also have Telegram access to me 4 days a week. Now, the whole mastermind will be on there, and there's limited spaces in the mastermind because this is a really high touch program, so I can't do so many. So it's limited. But within the Telegram chat, you guys can be in there, and after the first few weeks, you'll be talking to each other nonstop. You'll see, even if you're an incredibly shy person, you will be. And I'll be in there Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you'll be able to bring forward anything that's going on with you those 4 days, and I will come in and personally answer it. Sometimes I'll give you a 5-minute answer, sometimes I'll give you a 15-minute answer, but I'll be fully in there with you, assisting you. So, I mean, it's just, I'm really, really excited to do this and to help those of you who feel grow. So again, it's going to be $444 a month or $5,000 paid in full. So if you are interested, please email me and I will send you the information. Also, I am doubling the price after 1 week. This allows the people who are an absolute yes and that just know to say yes and do it in a price that feels manageable to them. Okay. But I will raise it and I won't be bringing it back down as far as I know. So let me come over here and look at all of the chat. Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything. I'm reading the Divine Design. Have you read it? There's so much more. I haven't heard of it. I don't really read very many spirituality books. So sometimes I'm called to read one, but I haven't heard of it. Only in the 3D form and a 5D consciousness. There's more to the awakening. There's the knowing. Yeah, it sounds beautiful. Hello, everyone. I recommend listening to Erin. She changed my life. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. Do you know who the Galactic Federation is? I love you, Erin, but you can't answer if you know the Divine Design. There's more to what you have taught me. That's beautiful, Mel. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. And thank you, Cherie. Thank you, guys. And I'm so excited to do many more of these free masterclasses next year. So keep an eye open for that. I'm sending each of you so much love, so many blessings, so much abundance as we move into the new year. And I want you all to know before we go that even though there is so much noise out there right now, guys, there's so much beauty being birthed, so much beauty being birthed. And you guys are all on the right path because I know that you all trust that and you all continue to move towards that. That's a really big deal. I celebrate each and every one of you. I love you so much, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.